These are the regulations to the World Time Attack Challenge, and this is my R34 Skyline Time Attack build, and it violates these regulations in quite a big way. So on today's episode, we're going to work out how it violates them and what we need to do to fix it. All right, let's quickly touch on why it violates the regulations, and then we'll get to the juicy stuff. So in 2021, I had this thing converted to all-wheel drive because I wanted more power, so I thought all-wheel drive was the best way to go. And the workshop that it was at hadn't done an all-wheel drive conversion before, so I was the guinea pig. I haven't heard about what the World Time Attack Challenge was, or even knew what time attack racing was. How is that relevant? Fast forwarding to now, I learned that in section 11 part G of the open class regulations, well, in all classes for that matter, it is not permissible to convert a two-wheel drive car to four-wheel drive, which is exactly what I have done. So you're probably thinking, well, can't you just change it? Yes, but because it has the chassis rails from a C34 Stagia, I cannot put the original GTT subframe in, which means now that it violates section 12.4 part E of the open class regulations. Now that part is a little bit wishy-washy. Some people have said that I'll be fine, the scrutineers won't see it, but they are not the scrutineers, so I would rather not take the risk. So the only way to mitigate that would be to either enter in the Pro class or the Pro M class. Pro class is invite only, so that's off the table. So Pro M is now the way I have to go, which is yes, upon application, but I'll just cross my fingers and toes. So now I will be removing the engine, the gearbox, and potentially this front subframe. But we're going to start with the engine and gearbox and then see what we have to do from there. Is it annoying that I have to pull this engine out for a third time? Yes, but it honestly opens up a whole wide array of opportunity for developments on the car. And inherently, though it will take longer and my timeline is going to get blown out to the 2026 World Time Attack Challenge, I'm okay with that because in the long run, I myself and this car will benefit a lot more. So, let's pull out the engine. Label everything. I think it's going to be a while until we see a dressed up engine in the bay again. Oh, that's heavy. All right. Let's wrestle this engine out. Will this RB go back in? Who knows? Let's see if we can bring it out without breaking anything further. Oh. That was my wheel. No, can I push this Skyline back more? Yeah, I can. All right. Just like that, people. 5-minute job. More like 5 hours. Oh. That was the wrong way. This is why it's handy to have two people, so you can have two hands on the one thing that lowers it down. Slowly. Oh, look at that, like a glove. Now let's do a damage report. What did I damage? I twisted the rad support frame, which is now not twisted. And I'm not sure if you can get in here, but this is, I dented this unfortunately, because that's where the gearbox got caught as I was trying to get it out. And this is actually all going to get cut out anyway for when we push the engine 50mm rearward. So, problem yok. Now it's actually dinner time, so I'm going to take a break and we'll come back probably tomorrow.
After removing most of the remaining components from the engine bay, I shifted my focus to the dash. As I was pulling it out of the car, it felt heavier than I was expecting, so I decided to test my curiosity and weigh it. It ended up weighing in at 6.93 kilos. In saying that, my goal is still to keep the factory dash and cluster, but that'll depend on how close I get to my new target weight of 1,088 kilos. Now, I'm moving on to remove the entire wiring harness from the car, but I'll fast forward through that part for you.
So the entire wiring harness is now out of the Skyline. The only thing that is in there is the diff, steering wheel, steering column, steering rack, and suspension components. That is it. Now, you're probably thinking as you look at all these wires and clips and computers and fuses, thinking, Jonesy, do you even know how to put this back in? Did you label things? Yes, actually, I do. It is relatively simple and I did label things. However, my uninformed optimism and my aspirations tell me that I want to rewire this entire car from scratch, because there are a lot of OEM things that have been removed, so you have excess wires and clips that are not getting used. Now, in saying that, you'll remove weight. However, I also want to retain the ability to use all lights. That's brake, parking, high beam, low beam indicators, all that kind of stuff, and on the factory stalk. Now, following that, you're probably thinking, that's not what people do with time attack cars. You are correct. That is not what they do. That is what they don't do. You get what I'm trying to say. But I still want to be able to take this car to other events where it may be required to run headlights or have functioning lights. So that is why I'm doing that through the factory options as well, like the stalks, whatever, which may be extra weight. However, the weight I pull out from not putting in those unused clips may even it out, but that we will have to see.
Don't be obsessive, it could be intensive, it could be explosive, it could be offensive. Don't be defensive, don't be aggressive, it will be a waste cause we could be expensive. You need a little fee in your life, you need a little me in your life. I wanna see the sea in your eyes, you need to be free. Hey.
Move, move, body move.
It's been a big one. The engine's out, the gearbox is out, the dash is out. There is literally nothing left in this car with the exception of the suspension so it can roll. Well, I'm committed now. This is the point of no return, I guess you can say. I think we crossed that point ages ago, let's be real. I've never pulled a car this part before, and I don't think this Skyline has ever been this apart in its life, with the exception of when it was getting assembled in Japan. However, that is all for this episode. It's been a big one. Thank you so much for watching. I really appreciate your time and attention. They are your most valuable assets. Now, for the next episode, what will be happening, I'm actually not sure, to be honest, as I'm awaiting some information and waiting on some people. But it will be along the lines of further getting this car ready for the welding cage, or who knows, that might even be happening next episode. I'll also be meeting with the cage builder as well to see what else I need to do to get this car prepped, as there is more to a roll cage than I previously expected. The rest is a mystery. Thanks for watching. Don't forget to subscribe. Here's a discount code for you for my website, and I'll see you in the next one.